afternoon, everyone. You are now tuned in to Situations the Podcast, and I'm your host, Kelvin.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Tiana. What's up, everybody?
How everybody doing today? Tiana, how you feeling today?
I'm pretty good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. No complaints. I am excited though. We are. This is the beginning of season 3. So I'm
Yes.
excited about that. We got 3 seasons in. So this is to season 3. I got me a little drink.
Cheers to season. Oh, you got your red cup. You got that
Yeah,
red
we
cup
got.
going.
Yeah, season 3 it began. But today we're gonna talk about no means no. Okay. And when I say no means no, that means why do men take rejection so hard? Okay. You ready for that?
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm gonna kick it off like this. Why do you think men take rejection so personally?
I don't know. It could be some different reasons. Maybe stemming from childhood. Sometimes we come from humble beginnings and you're not able to, afford the things that you want or look the way you want to look. As a kid, mom paying bills, dad, whoever.
Right.
And you just you get what you get. And you may not be the most popular or this and that, but I'm still trying to figure it out myself, like why when a woman say no thank you or she's involved with someone else, whether she is or she not, and she say
Right.
she's not interested or no thank you, it turns into a hostile situation.
Right. And I'm not understanding why. You know, sometimes you have to be graceful and walk away. It
Right.
shouldn't turn into a hostile thing. I'm not understanding why or what triggers that type of reaction from men when a woman
Right.
decline their advances.
Because I'm like, sometimes, when you're younger, your dad or your mama sit down with you and like, son, when you go out into the world, do XYZ. I remember my mom sitting me down as a little girl and saying, you're really pretty. People are gonna find you attractive when you go outside.
Right.
When boys or whoever try to talk to you, just always be polite, nice. Make sure you acknowledge them and stuff like that. And I did all of that and still end up having some bad experiences from me saying no, thank you.
But that's crazy too. But you know what I think? I think the main thing is I ain't gonna say all men. I'm gonna say some men.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I think some men tie their self worth to how a woman perceives them.
I can agree with that.
You know, so to them being rejected feel like an attack on their identity and their masculinity.
Right.
And that's not always the case. It's
You're
not
right.
always the case.
You're right.
Sometimes, you might not be her type, or she might be going through something at that particular day. She might not want to talk, you know.
Exactly.
So you have to be able to just walk away. You had a situation before, right? Tell us about that.
I had a few situations. I remember one time I was walking, I was younger, I was in high school, and, a guy was trying to talk to me, and I was like, no, thank you. He threw a brick at me,
Wow.
a whole brick.
All
And
because you
I,
said
I
no
picked
thank
the
you.
I picked the big brick back up and threw it right back at him. I mean, it's funny, but it's not. It still was a dangerous situation. It was
Right.
crazy.
Right.
But that was my instinct, just picked it back up and threw it right back at him. It was another incident where I was in my car and we were at the light. They were in the inner lane and I was in the outer lane. They talking to me. I'm acknowledging them, talking back to them or whatever. And
Right.
they asked me, "Am I with someone? Can I get my number?" And I'm like, "No, thank you. I'm in a relationship." At the time, I was. Soon as the light turned green, they ran my car into the pole, like literally, and crashed my car.
Wow.
That was a traumatic situation for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like I'm doing the right thing and I'm still having to experience these things. Why? I want to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just don't understand it. I didn't disrespect you. I didn't act like you wasn't even, there. I acknowledged you. I respected you, and you still treated me with disrespect and gave me trauma that I had to, live with and get over and damaged my car.
Right. Yeah, that's sad. And all you have to do, all they have to do is just basically just drive off.
Right.
Wow.
I'm
Well, let
just
me
like,
ask
I
you
don't
this.
know. With
Go
with
ahead.
with some people, is it like a conquering situation? Because with some women they may not care as much, and with others it's like, oh, she has to talk to me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I tell people, and I'm like, I don't think I'm conceited. I know I'm an amazing person. I have an amazing heart and personality. I try to treat everybody with respect. I smile and talk to people when I'm out and stuff like that. So I would get why someone would, want to approach me or even be interested, or if I make them laugh or smile or something. But it's just like you don't get to, ruin somebody else's day or life because they just told you no. It's just one simple no. It's like so many people in the world.
Right. So let me ask you, do you think is their masculinity to blame?
I don't know if it's totally the masculinity because, like I said, I was
Well,
going through this when I
well
was
let
younger
me hold on.
too.
Let me revise that question. Do you think it's toxic masculinity to blame?
I could say yes, but I could even say go a little further to be like, I don't even think it's masculinity because when you're younger, you know, nobody's sitting down saying masculine and feminine or whatever. Your parents talk to you about the birds and the bees, or they have their talk with you. So even as a 11 or 12-year-old boy, the girl say no, thank you. She don't want to talk to you, and then you punch her in the face. You see what I'm saying? So what does that have to do with masculinity? It's like
Well, they learned
maybe
that
he
from
was
somewhere.
spoiled.
But they learned
Exactly.
that from somewhere.
But he might not, but that's what I'm saying. He might not necessarily understand what masculinity is or even mean to even correlate that with that. You know what I'm saying? Like at that age, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm
I
going
understand
back
what you're
because
saying.
we're not just gonna put this on grown people because when I was younger, I fought boys too. And I ended up getting smacked by a boy and I smacked him back like we had a fight, a whole fight. And they was like, he liked you. And I'm like, I never want to see him again.
Right.
But it was like he respected me after we had the fight. But I was like, why did I have to fight you over nothing? Like you didn't even know me.
Well, I'm gonna have to say yes, toxic masculinity reinforced the idea that men should always be in the dominant power,
Uh-huh.
leading to extreme responses. So I think, like you said, even with the little kids, they might
Hmm.
not know what masculinity mean, but this is
Right.
something that's being showed to them or something they've seen, and this is what they emulating.
I can agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So that's the reason why I say I think it's a yes,
Yeah.
because this is something they saw, or something they probably
Yeah.
saw within their household.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, and you're right because something that they seen or this and that made it clicked in their mind and make them think that it was okay. But it's like,
Right,
why would I want to be with you? You already abusing me, and I don't even know you.
right. Do societal pressures contribute to how men react to rejection?
Absolutely,
Okay,
because it could be a group of guys, and when the girl say no, thank you, his guys instantly start clowning him. Oh, you a simp, whatever this and that, and they just start bashing him.
right. Okay. Well, the reason I asked that is because I have a clip I want to share,
Okay.
and then we're gonna give our feedback on it after the clip
Okay.
finished playing.
All right.
So I just want you guys to tune in for 1 second, pay attention to this clip. And for those that are watching right now, You can tune in. You want to be a part of this show? Um, Send us a message, and we can implement you into the show. But for those that are watching, just tune into this.
When the fuck are men gonna finally start realizing when women say no, it fucking means no? There was literally just these fucking two dudes in here. They walked in here, it's a black dude and a Hispanic. They walk in here, I'm checking them out. As soon as I check them out, there's this girl that walks in. There's this girl that walks in, he starts talking to her, hey, how you doing, da 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 da. Then he gonna say, hey, can I have your number so we can get to know each other? She says, no, I'm good. So I walk over there with her, I start helping her, I get what I get what she want. We come over here. Then I asked her, I said, do you have an account with us? She said, yes, I have an account. With the account, you're supposed to give your phone number. When she says, oh, my phone number is, I said, no. I turned the keyboard around and I asked her to put in her phone number. So she puts in her phone number. The dude behind her gonna say, oh, damn, so you really ain't trying to give me the number, huh? So that means you about to listen for her fucking phone number. I said, y'all already got what y'all want. Can y'all get out of my store, please? He said, what, man? We customers. Da 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 da. Yes, you were just a customer. You were just a customer. You were a customer. You're not a customer anymore. Get out of my shop. Now, as she's getting ready to walk out the door, I start walking out the door behind her. I said, hold on. So I start walking out the door behind her. As soon as I start walking out the door behind her, as soon as she hit the fucking door, the fucking black boy is literally motherfucking walking up to her. Oh, so you really ain't trying to give me your number? I said, didn't she just tell you that she was good when she was inside the store? I said, boy, keep your ass fucking moving. Keep moving. Keep fucking moving. Oh, you just cock blocking. You just keep moving. And don't come back to my shop no more. How about that? You fucking banned from here. Don't come back to my... When the...
Okay. After what you just saw,
Mhm.
do you think the owner was right for doing what he did, or was he actually
I did
considered cock blocking?
no.
What as they said?
I think he was right, and he was her saving grace.
Okay.
Because if he wouldn't have intervened and they wouldn't have saw how serious he was, there's no telling what would have happened to her outside this store.
Right.
He assessed the situation, inside of his business and made sure she was safe all the way through. After he finished the sale with her, he could have just let her walk out the store and then she would have been on her own. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, they were still waiting outside for her. They were done already before she even got, to place her order or whatever she was purchasing. So they was already done. Why he was still waiting outside the store for her to come out. So that's what I'm saying. He wasn't taking no for an answer. And then he started arguing with the owner. And he had to be forceful to be like, just get on. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I'm saying. They are not respecting what the woman say.
Right. Well, we have a viewer,
Hmm.
uh, Parrish. He stated he think he was right also. So Parrish, we see you. Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, with that, after viewing that clip
Hmm.
and him saying what he said, why do some men believe persistence is the key after being rejected?
I don't know. Well, sometimes they'll say women say one thing and mean something else. Sometimes yes means no and no means yes. I'm a clear communicator, so that won't ever be the case with me. But in some cases, it do be that.
Right.
But if you don't know this person to be around them or to know how they communicate, to be like, oh, she always say that, but then we end up talking later, and then you see them, they are talking later. You'd be like, okay, well, we're not gonna get in there because she say one thing and then she be right back with the program. But
Right.
for somebody that you don't know, but I just say everybody. If somebody say no, they don't want to do something to be a part of something, then just respect what they're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. No means no. You know.
Absolutely.
That's the reason your boy in the situation he in right now.
And that's what people do. They find different ways and tactics to coerce
Right.
or manipulate a situation into you But then when you come out and you speak about it, you know, now you're being attacked by other people online. The other people, family members, and whoever else saying, "Oh, she wanted it anyway," or they turn attention to, "Well, what did she have on? Well, what time of day was it that she went to the store?" You know what I'm saying? All these other factors come into play when none of that is, important as to her saying no.
Right. But I wonder, why do some men lash out with anger after being rejected? What do you
That's
why do you
that's what
think
I'm
that
that's what
is?
I'm trying to figure out.
Right.
I'm agreeing with that statement you said of they saying it early on. Sometimes, parents, spoil their kids rotten when they're younger, and they've never been hurt told no. So they've always gotten what they wanted. And I don't know. Sometimes maybe it's a mental issue. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know.
Right. Well, parent also stated, hold on, let me see what he said here. There's a right way to be persistent, and there's a wrong way to be persistent. I
I
can agree
agree.
with that. Yeah, I can
Me
agree with
too.
that.
Me
Parents, if you
too.
can elaborate a little more, please do so. Um, that way we can have a better understanding. That way our viewers can have a better understanding and grasp the ideal of what we're trying to show here.
Right.
Okay. Are insecurities to blame for extreme reactions to rejections?
Absolutely.
I
Because if
agree with
somebody
you.
say no, it's like, okay, thank you, sweetheart. Have a nice day anyway. And boom, that's it. Try your luck with somebody else.
Right.
I mean, I just think it should be applied to anything in life, not just this. I went
Absolutely.
on plenty auditions for things, whatever, and got told no. And, you know, I was just like, maybe I wasn't what they was looking for. Then I looked to maybe was it some things that I could have done better. And then once I find out some behind the scenes politics of things, I understood why I was told no. So I was like, okay, but I didn't let it stop me from what I was doing. So that was, an example of continued persistence on something.
Okay. Paris also commented, clearly the thing
Hmm.
that happened in the store was the wrong way to be persistent. I also agree with that.
Right,
I wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
right.
Okay. Do you think rejection is harder for men who base their self worth on external validation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's probably the ones who go crazy or take it the hardest. And that's where you get these outcomes from. When
Right.
you practice self love and self worth and, different principles and, you deem other things important, more than your outer exterior and stuff like that, or maybe some material things you have, then you will be okay either way it go. You still gonna
Right.
be you. You still gonna be popping. You still gonna be funny. You still gonna be intelligent. You still gonna be handsome. You still gonna be whatever or whoever you are because this person told you no. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be okay. You still gonna be you.
Right. But when, like I say, when that happens for individuals and men like this,
Hmm.
I think it does something to their ego. It
Hmm.
does something to I think it's more or less no, like, more or less so their ego. I think their
Okay.
ego be bruised when they're turned down. When they're trying to be persistent, I
Yeah,
think their
I
ego
believe
is
that.
bruised when they're turned down.
Now look, we could flip it because it's some crazy women out here too, and they don't like to be told no.
Well,
And that's a whole
I've
nother.
never really seen the flip side of it. I've never seen one of those. Not, I'm not saying it's
I,
not happening. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've never
it's
seen it
happening.
personally. You
It's
know,
happening.
I'm pretty sure it might be some. It might be some. crazy women out there as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it past them.
Hmm.
Okay, moving right along.
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
Well, you're moving too good. You're moving too fast for me.
That's because I've experienced it.
Well, okay, well, let me ask you this. With what you've been through
Uh-huh.
and what we just witnessed from the clip we just watched,
Okay.
why do you think they turn to violence when they're being rejected?
Because they had already made up in their mind that they was gonna get you before they even approached you. And when you said that no out loud, that triggered whatever triggered inside of them, and they just lost
Humiliation,
it.
humiliation,
Yes. Yes.
triggered that rage.
Yes, and
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe they went through something or was bullied or something when they was younger or something happened. You know what I'm saying? And they got that
right,
response. So it's like, here I am, a grown person, and I get this again. But now that I'm grown, I have more control and more strength or whatever. So I can control a situation how I want to, how I want the
right,
outcome to be. And it's gonna be whatever I want it to be. So here you go.
right. I agree with you. Okay, bear with me 1 second here.
Okay.
Looking to boost your brand? Advertise with Situations, the podcast where real life stories meet real time conversations. Reach engaged listeners and grow your business today. Looking to boost.
Okay. Now, with that being said,
Okay.
do you think rejection is more difficult for men who aren't really used to it? For an example, like you got some guys out here that feel they're God's gift, to women,
Mhm.
and they feel they should never be rejected. But when that rejection finally happens, how you think they perceive that?
Yeah, they could lose it. Um, I've actually been in personal situations where I was in a relationship with a person or I was trying to leave and they didn't want me to leave and I end up having to get restraining orders and stuff like that. I'm telling them no and they're not saying they want to leave my life, but I'm leaving because of your actions, you know what I'm saying, and things that you're doing. And it was a crazy situation. You know, I just think when people make up in their mind that they want something, they don't think about any consequence after that.
Right.
And they don't hear what you're saying when you're saying no. It's only the outcome of what they want.
So, with that being said, how do you think fear of vulnerability play a role?
They don't want to experience that. And that's what I'm saying. It's something in them happened, something happened to them and they didn't take the time to heal. So now that they're grown, it's still a trigger for them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because they really don't want to go back to feeling that way again. But when you say that, it automatically puts them in that feeling. So now they feel like you did them wrong when you didn't. You just simply said no because you weren't interested for whatever reason that was.
Right.
Like you didn't do anything wrong and I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just not interested in you. But
Okay.
they're not looking at it from their perspective. They're looking at it like, how dare you? Like you did something wrong to them. But I do have the right to say no.
Well, even with you having the right to say no, right? Do
Hmm.
you think rejection challenges men's perception? Well, not really perception. Do you think telling them no challenge men's perceived control?
I would say all of those things we just talked about. I mean, but like I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm 44 years old and I'm still trying to figure out why do men go into attack mode? I was just recently on another friend's podcast, and he had posted a reaction clip about this woman saying single women think they're God gifted men, they want to be taken care of. They use men for this and that or whatever, and they probably can't cook, clean, take care of a man in any type of way. And then
Right.
with the older women, their beauty fades or whatever, this and that, and they'll be saying that they're single by choice. And I was like, I disagree with all of that personally, because I cook, clean, this and that, cater to a man or whatever, this and that. I said, but right now, I'm choosing to be single because this is the first time in my life that I get to work on some things that I want to work on, like finishing my book, getting back to my music or different stuff that I want to do, with my kids going to college and different stuff like that. And
Right.
so I immediately got attacked. They started attacking the way I look, saying I was lying. They don't like my eyebrows. I wear too much makeup. All because I said I didn't agree what she said, because I'm not one of those women who misuse men for dates or for money or for things. And if I'm choosing to spend a little time, to be by myself, why am I being dragged? Because I'm saying, no, thank you. I don't want to date right now. And
Right.
when I say they went for me crazy, I was like, wow, it's so many men that are coming for me, and they're saying, uh, no, it's just no men want you. You don't even know me personally, but you're tearing me down and dragging me. You know what I'm saying? Is this just for black women, or is this for all women? Because to me it be seeming like black women is the one who get the brunt of everything, and get all these list of demands on what they have to do, to be with a man. But I'm just saying, no, thank you. I'm not taking any dates and having a man, spend his money. He should spend his money on somebody that's interested in him, if he want to cultivate something or start investing in that with her, by spending his money. So why am I getting dragged and torn down because I said no?
Right.
I'm
And you
still getting
entitled to
told
that.
no.
Right.
But guess what? It was over 100 men that dragged me just because I said I don't want to date right now. I said no, thank you.
Wow. That's crazy. But you're entitled to that.
And
You don't, just
right,
because you're a
but
woman, that don't necessarily mean
exactly,
you have to date.
exactly. But they're saying that's because nobody wants you. So you 44 and you single. That means it's you. Something's wrong with you and nobody wants you. But if I'm not putting myself out there to date, how do you know what's wrong with me or what's not wrong with me if I'm not even putting myself out there to date, to even get feedback, to hear anything?
Right. Well, but
I lost half of my family. So I feel like this is the first time in my life that I feel free, where I can grieve, I can take time for myself, this and that. So I don't want a man calling me, like when I'm ready to give my time to a man, and I say I want a date, and I give him my number, and he's calling me and he's saying be ready at 7, I want to take you out. I'm going to be ready at 7, and I'm going to be saying, okay. I don't want to be telling the man, well, I'm busy right now, I don't feel like it today, I'm grieving today. I'm not, like, let me take the proper time on whatever reason why I'm saying no, thank you, or no at this particular time in my life, and let me deal with that. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't win either way.
right. Well, see, I think I know what the situation was.
Mhm.
Me personally, I think they
Mhm.
probably attacked you that hard because you're not the type of woman that's showing your ass, shaking, twerking, all that on every picture that you post. You got your back turned to the camera for we can see your butt.
But
You know.
but they're them the ones that they're talking about too. So then when you get a woman that's not doing that, you tear her down too. That's why I say I don't know. I think they're just triggered by hearing no. It don't even matter what the reason is. You see what I'm saying?
Uh,
It's like I'm saying, I'm telling the man, no, thank you, handsome. You have an amazing day. I'm not interested right now. I'm working on me, or I'm working on some things that I wanted to get back to. So I know when I give my time to another man, or I invite or accept the invitation of another man being in my life, he's gonna want some time. And I am a nurturer. So that means I'm
right.
going to be taking time away from some of the things that I'm doing to cater to him, to nurture to him, because I am that type of woman. I am not going to leave you hanging high and dry. I'm gonna ask you if you're hungry. I'm gonna want to rub your head and you lay in my lap. I'm gonna want to cook for you. I'm gonna want to do nice things for you. That's the type of woman that I am. So right now, if I want to take some time for myself because I have been a giver my whole life, why am I being dragged for saying no, no, thank you right now? You see what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
in that situation, she got dragged and torn down where she said no. This was a different type of situation. I was just reacting saying, I'm not that type of woman. I'm actually one of the good ones. And I still got dragged too.
It's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think when whoever says no,
So do you think the media contributes to unrealistic expectations about rejection?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I agree
It's gonna
with you.
have to say, I think when and I recognize them, I think when it takes real men that are confident in who they are and their masculinity, and they can approach a female, a woman, without tearing her down or making her step outside of her femininity. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
if I have to be on guard or not have to talk aggressive to you, I'm not walking or being in my feminine purpose or power. Now I'm trying to match your masculine energy because you didn't respect me being soft and sweet and saying no. Now I got to curse you out and say, get the hell up out of my face or reach for something in my bag for you. Like, why do I
Right.
have to do that? I should be able to feel safe around masculine energy. And that'd be
I
an
agree.
issue too with men talking about women being feminine. Y'all don't accept feminine women. Those are the ones that get walked over and trampled over and made to feel like they can't have a voice if they express something that you don't agree with. I could still be feminine and say, babe, I don't agree with what you're saying, and this is why. And I shouldn't get torn down because I'm giving a no or taking a different stance. We can agree to disagree, but still be respectful.
Absolutely. And sometimes, they just have to be able to take that no as a
Yes.
valid answer.
Right.
No means no.
Right.
So it's a sad world that we live in today, and
It is.
it's crazy that this continue to happen.
Yes.
But I mean, there's really no solid answer for it.
Right.
There's really no solid answer.
And it was like, even after all those men tore me down, I was like, y'all could say whatever y'all want to say about me. It still doesn't change who I am and my stance on not agreeing with. And then some of them was saying, well, the majority. Okay, the majority of the women do act like that. But I'm speaking for the ones that are not the majority. Every woman ain't out here to do men harm. It's some
Right.
amazing women out here that love men and want to see them thrive and provide a safe place for them to be vulnerable, for them to be safe, for them to be able to communicate, all of that.
Agree with you. I agree with you
But
100%.
because y'all want to go off of social status or you know uh being called the head honcho or using physical things, and when you bring the baddie around or when you bring this around, it's like you get more kudos or your ego is stroked more, you know what I'm saying? um that's what you get. But then when she tear you down and she do you in because the inside don't match the outer beauty, now you guys are mad. But it is some women out here that will nurture you and will love you and will help you get down to the bottom of the triggers that you have in order for you to heal without tearing her down. You're not going to tear me down. If I love and I care about you, I feel like I invested enough time, I'm going to stick around long enough so that we could try to figure it out together because I chose to be with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, for me, it was always like if a man did something to me or they did something, I would be like feeling a certain type of way, like, dang, why he do that to me? Because I don't treat people wrong. I'm not perfect, but I don't treat people wrong. So I want to sit down and talk to you like, why did you do that? Like, what made you do that? What inside you triggered you to have that response or even make you want to do that? That's so now we get into the root of why you're doing this.
Right.
Have I showed you signs that I wasn't trustworthy? No. Am I available when you need me? Yes. Have I provided a safe place for you? Yes. Okay, so what inside of you made you do this? Have this been done to you before? And this was the way you acted when that was done to you before? Yes. Okay, well, this is not that, and I'm not them. So you need to take some time. These are the areas we need to work on because you're not going to treat me like that. And I'm not tearing you down as a man. I'm coming to you, having an honest conversation with you and saying you've been triggered and that hasn't been healed. You're going to keep on repeating it. And that's how good women get ruined because the men don't take time to heal. They just go from the next woman to the next woman to the next woman. But then if you get a woman and say, I don't want to go to the next man, I just want to sit down and take some time to be to myself or to heal or take some time to work on or cultivate some things I want to do, or no thank you, I just don't want to date right now, whatever, she get torn down.
Right.
I'm
That's
trying to preserve the goodness that I have inside so when a man do show up, I can love on him and he can get all the goodness too.
right.
I
Right.
don't ever want to say, and I went through some crazy things with some men, and I always give the next guy a fair chance. I don't never say all men ain't shit. I don't do that. I never even dated outside my race because I think our black men are amazing. And I'm like, I don't want to say I'm a racist or nothing like that, but just looking back on the history and looking, at how our men are being slain in the street and how black families are being divided and how people are being disrespected. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to be that woman to be study arguing with you, or when you come home, you done fought the world and now you got to come home and fight too. No, I want to be the safe place for you.
Right. Right. So, how do you think society can teach men how to handle rejection better?
I don't think society can teach that. I think the man have to start thinking for himself and stop looking to society to be validated. I think he needs to sit down and work out some things and work on some things that he needs to work on, and he needs to validate his own self. He needs to do some things that's going to instill self-love and self-care for him and create a solid foundation for him. And if that means stepping away from the dating scene and you know maybe take a little time to be abstinent or whatever, to refrain from some things, with being with around the female species, in that regard, build yourself up as a king, you know what I'm saying? And you'll get what you deserve. Or when you go after something, you'll have the insight to choose, a woman that is going to be best for you, not just because she looks good.
Right.
Or
Well,
if you do, because people get tricked, men and women. But once you start seeing those flags, then just get out.
here's my take on that.
Hmm.
I think open discussions about emotional intelligence and healthy coping mechanisms can help.
Yeah,
I also think teaching boys or young men at an early age that rejection is part of life.
I agree.
I think
Yep,
I think that's a start.
it is.
And no is a final answer.
Right.
We have to. It starts early. It starts early as
It
young men,
do. It does.
like you
It
said,
does.
like we was talking earlier when you said that the young fella probably didn't know
Right.
anything about that, but
Right.
it's something I said. It's something he probably saw. But
Right.
we have to teach our young men that know me, no,
And it was
not.
like,
Go ahead.
my dad wasn't there when I was growing up, but I still knew how I wanted a man to treat me, even though I didn't see that or get that. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I understand everybody don't got my same mindset though, too. But I'm like, I didn't have that, but that don't mean I wasn't out there accepting anything.
Right. As you should. You shouldn't have to.
Right.
You have morals. You should
Right.
stand up for what you believe in. If these are
Right.
if if you have a certain type of man that you're looking for,
Right.
by all means, wait on them.
Right.
You don't have to just take anything just to settle.
Right.
Wait on what's right for you. Do what's right for you.
Right. Yeah. But it's
Uh,
crazy because even having female friends and stuff like that, it's the same thing. Like we zoomed in on this particular topic, you know what I'm saying? But do you know how many people I got into it with? Because I said, oh, she always saying, here go to Miss Goody Two Shoes, always saying no when everybody else saying yes. Like, I had these group of friends and we were younger and they always wanted me to hang out with them and we were singing together and stuff like that. And I was like, nah. So one time I let them talk me into, I went against my no and said yes. And then we ended up at some African house. They end up sleeping with the guys, this and that or whatever. And I had to call home and I told the truth about what happened. And, I was leaving, walking to the train by myself at 3 o'clock in the morning up north on Sheridan, leaving some guy's house or whatever. But I had to sit there with my coat zipped up to my chin in a chair while my friends were sleeping with these guys, you know what I'm saying, when I had said no.
Right.
So it's not even the men either. It's both.
Yeah. You're not subject to that type of abuse.
So
I think
now
that's what
when
that is.
I'm yeah, now when I and I do. I know a lot of people, but I do spend a lot of time alone. But I'm thankful for it and I call it peace. Because I'm like, I'm not going against myself no more to say yes to people and keep ending up in all these crazy situations.
Right.
I was asleep one time and a friend I had, she was pregnant. She wanna go to eat too and see what her baby daddy was doing or whatever. Then boom, we ended up in that incident almost dying. But I went against me saying no, I didn't want to go. Yeah, you just need to go with me, this and that or whatever, this and that. And it's like, no.
Yeah. Well, you know one thing, when you do crazy things happens. But
Absolutely.
when you go against your gut, that's
Absolutely.
that's when usually this stuff happens.
Right.
Hold on
And
one
for me,
second.
I look at okay.
You are now watching
You are
Situations,
now
the
tuned
podcast,
in to
where nothing
your
is
number
off
one.
limits.
All right, go ahead.
I was just saying when people tell me no, I'm human. That part of me is human. I'm not saying I might not have a feeling, but it is what it is. Okay, that's no, it's a no. But a lot of times I be looking at rejection as protection. You
I
know,
like that. I like
I
that,
was
Shalina.
out with the yeah, rejection is protection. I was out with this, that same girl another time, but I end up just having to completely cut her out of my life. All the guys were talking to her. She had her, butt out, like she had on a cheerleading skirt, but it was cut to half for where her butt was out. So her butt was hanging out and she was getting all the attention. The guys were sticking their hands up her skirt and stuff like that. I had on some jeans and a sweater, just cool, casual, whatever, still looking cute. And she came over there and she was like, if ain't nobody trying to talk to you, don't feel no type of way though. But these, they on me right now, whatever. And I just laughed it off. And then when she walked off, this guy that was kind of down, he was kind of standing by us, but a little bit down. He walked over. He's like, I ain't trying to be in y'all business, but I am. He was like, don't listen to her. They all up on her because she's just displaying,
All right, she got it all
being
out.
a whore. Yeah,
Right.
she's promiscuous, all that or whatever. He was like, you keep being cool. He was like, don't even listen to her. He was like, why you even hanging with her? Like, that's not your friend. And that's not the attention that you want anyway. He was like, you cool. You good. You're gonna attract the right type of guys for you. You know what I'm saying? But it was
Right.
like, but I took that as a masculine man. He stepped in to even just give me assurance that, you know, how I was carrying myself and the choices that I was making was good versus her saying, she was trying to down me or belittle me because she was getting all the action and it was like, don't feel bad because I ain't getting none. I don't want that action anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, one thing I can honestly say,
Hmm.
you're definitely a different type of woman. You
Hmm.
know, the way you carry yourself, the way you act, the way you move, and there's not a lot of that going on right now.
It's
You
not.
know,
And I know people, some people take that as, oh, she's stuck up, she's standoffish. I'm not none of that. I'm really cool and reserved. I do have a fun personality. I love to laugh and, talk sarcastic stuff, whatever, but all in good fun. You know what I'm saying? But I am an energy person, and I really had to like un-f myself out of a lot of things that I've been through, and just getting back to the essence of who I really am, and trusting, God's voice and my own voice, and me standing on that no, to give
Right.
myself a yes and to keep myself safe and protected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when it's good vibes going on and it's good energy, and if I'm not, feeling sick or anything like that, I love interacting with people and being around people and having a good time. So it's not that. So stop judging a book by its cover, and stop thinking, because every woman is pretty or this and that, that she's out here just, reckless and stuff like that. Because it's actually some stand up women and men out here that actually care and have some morals, and, are looking for the right things and want to do the right things in life. And if you're rejected, baby, it's 7 billion people out here. Try again.
Right. Well,
That's it.
I wanna send this to all the good women out there. Okay, I wanna applaud all the good women that's out there because it's like I say, the pickings are very slim.
Yes.
The way society is set up right now, the picking is very slim. Women today are basing
Yeah.
everything off sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen a lot of. I'm not saying it's not out there, and I'm not saying they don't exist. I haven't seen them.
Right.
Anytime you go onto social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, I ain't gonna even say Twitter. Twitter just turned into something whole completely different. Twitter is a porn
Okay.
site now, right?
Okay.
Twitter is completely a porn site. But that validates my point. Okay. So very seldom do you see a lot of classy women still exist.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm not saying they're not out there.
Right.
Are they laid back? They might be laid back and preserved.
Right.
They probably don't do social media,
Right.
you know, but this is what we get, on social media. And this is why
Right.
they're so sought after because you're leaving nothing to the imagination.
Right.
You showing us everything we need to see up front,
Right.
and that's not how it should be.
And I got one more point
Go
to
ahead, make
the
it.
fellas out there that are, acting crazy when women say no. Just put that woman in the place of your daughter, your mother, your sister, like the women that you love in your family, and treat her with that same respect. Like, to the men out here, y'all should be protecting us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we go to the gas station, it should be a group of guys all surrounding us, making us feel unsafe. Open the door, help us walk to our car. Like, that's
Right,
what I'm saying. That's true masculinity. Making sure these women are okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, stand up. And then y'all wonder why other races be treating us all crazy and acting all like that or whatever. We have to respect us first. We do.
right. I agree with that 100%. 100%. Okay, for our viewers
I'm,
that's tuned in, you guys
mhm.
want to chime in and talk about or discuss anything you heard, um, do so in the comment. That way we can see the comments, and then that way we can interact with you in regards to your opinions or your answers. Okay, well, Deanna, other than that,
Mhm.
I think we had a good show today. I think we touched on
Me
some
too.
serious topics.
Yes.
And before we end up getting out of here, I want you to be able to tell everybody where they can find you at and how they can reach you.
What's up, everybody? You can reach me on Facebook, Deanna Chester, Instagram, Miss Deanna, Elite Glamour Girls. Um, Come on, y'all. Let's just do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world is crazy out here. We all could use a little bit of love. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more love and a hug. You know what I'm saying? So, I know with these topics, it's always saying the majority, but if each and every one of us take the time to start making an effort to think better, do better, and be better, like that majority can be changed in a different way. It could be good for us. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to see.
Right. I agree. Okay, everyone. As you all know, I'm Kelvin, your host. I can be found on Instagram at Situations the Podcast. Um, what I would like to ask everyone is to make sure you get over to our YouTube channel at Situations the Podcast and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on that notification bell. That way you'll be informed anytime new content is posted. You'll be the first one to receive the notifications. You'll be the first ones to get a chance to see the content. Um, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Next week I think I'm gonna do something special. Hold on, let me see something. Deanna, I think I want to do something. I think I want to have a giveaway. What you think?
Oh,
What you think?
we
You
we
think?
we, we can come out swinging if you want to.
Yeah, this is the first episode of season 3.
Yes.
I want to give somebody something. I don't know what. I want to
Mhm.
take our most loyal supporter. I tell you what we do. Let's do this, Deanna. Let's do this.
Okay.
The next person that goes subscribe to our YouTube channel, or the
Uh huh.
next 5 people that go
Okay.
subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Mhm.
we might do a cash app. Might cash app them something for your show our appreciation.
Okay.
Um, I might give away some sports memorabilia.
Uh huh.
I might have give away some hoodies. I
Okay.
got a lot of things we can work on.
Right.
Okay. Oh, Mary Terrell, Cash App. Yep. Cash. Yep.
You know they was gonna say cash out, baby.
Yeah. So we're gonna do something. So what I want you guys to do is get over to our YouTube channel, type in Situations the Podcast, and subscribe. I'm gonna be checking. I need everybody to get over to YouTube right now. Type in Situations the Podcast and subscribe. When you subscribe, send us a message via YouTube, and we're gonna do something very special for you guys. Okay.
Yes. And
I
please
feel I,
like,
I
share, and subscribe. We
absolutely
always talking about all it's always something bad going on. We tired of hearing about Diddy. We try to bring y'all new and refreshing and real topics. That's why it's called situations. You know what I'm saying? A
right.
podcast because we bring you real life situations. And the only way that they're going to get out there and we can continue having those if y'all help us, bring and shed some light on them. So we like to thank you for all of your support. We appreciate your continued support. So just go and
Absolutely.
hit that like, share, and subscribe.
And just to give y'all a little more information about this podcast, we don't do celebrity. We may touch on it, but our show won't
Right,
be based on it. Okay.
right,
We don't do celebrity gossip. We don't do celebrity what's going on. You notice we haven't said anything
right,
about P. Diddy or any of that. We don't care about that. We care about our
right,
people. We care about the people
right,
every day, the everyday normal people that's going through situations. And we try
right,
to enlighten by shining light on different subjects. Okay. So that's what
right,
Situation the Podcast is all about. So by you guys subscribing to our channel, once you subscribe, you become family. Okay. You're
right,
part of the podcast family. You're part of the Situation the Podcast family. So once again,
right,
Situation the Podcast on YouTube, subscribe, like, share, and we can do this together. All right.
right. And give your feedback so that we can, if you have topics that you want us to touch on or things that, may concern you or that you want to express, let us know so we can shed some light on that too. We're only
Absolutely.
two people on here. You
Right.
guys can help shed some light on a lot of things too. So we look
It,
forward to that.
right. It takes a community. So if you guys are
Right,
ever going through something that you want us to discuss or talk about, shoot us a message. Shoot us a
right,
message and we'll definitely shine some light on it. If we feel it's a good topic, we have you on as a
yeah,
guest. and that way we
Right.
can talk about it. Okay.
Right.
So what we're gonna do at this time, once again, I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the Podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Tiana.
And we appreciate all you guys that tuned in today. We appreciate
Yes.
everybody that commented today. But like I said, I'm gonna stress this one more time. Get over to our YouTube at Situations the Podcast and make sure you subscribe, like, turn on that notification bell. You won't go wrong, I guarantee you. Tiana, once
Yes.
again, season 3, beginning of season 3. We
Yes.
have new and exciting topics. We got a good one next week.
Absolutely.
I already got next week
Okay.
ready. We got a good one.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
So you
Okay.
guys, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. We had to